Hey y'all, it's about 10:03 in the morning. All these flies coming from that dump. I'm about to get my hair cut later on today. I have my hair appointment. I'm about to go see my son right now. I'm about to go make me a few dollars to pay for my haircut, make me a few dollars to put gas in my car. Still doing all these hustles until my first 2 paychecks come in from work. Once my money becomes more regular flowing, then I can make extra money on the side, but don't have to worry about doing it under pressure. Right now I'm doing it under pressure. But one thing I wanted to share with you guys today is this. And I want to share this with my ex too, because I know he be watching some of my videos. And this is important because this is important to share because this could help someone. And for my ex, this could help you too in your future. Is that there is this certain someone that never existed in our lives. He was never around. He was never present. He was never really active either. I think we spoke to him a few times when he was incarcerated, and I don't know if he's still incarcerated. Don't really care. This person was never present. He was never around. He was never active in our lives. He never really existed in our lives. But yet, and I'm talking to my ex for my audience, but yet you were still jealous of him, and he never existed. He was never around. This man did not exist in my son's life. This man was not active in my son's life. This man never came around. He was never present in our lives. He was never around. He never existed. But yet you were still jealous of him. It makes no sense to me because you're jealous for no reason. Like this, you're jealous of a person that never existed. You're jealous of a person that was never around. You're jealous of someone that never existed in our lives. So that's the first thing that is just freaking ridiculous, okay? Secondly is my son, our son, but my son. You took that out on him, and that's unfair. He's an innocent kid. He did not ask to be here, but he's here. He did not ask for you and I to have the problems that we have, but we do have them. All he ever wanted was for you to love him, and all you did was shun him away after you and I had our own 2 children together. All he ever wanted was for you to be his dad. All he ever wanted was to be your son, but you always pushed him away. And then when your mom and sister came to visit at the hospital, you failed to show up. And that hurt his feelings. I just want you to know that hurt his feelings. And while you out here spewing hate, spewing lies, and spewing evil onto me, you're hurting this innocent child that craves your love, that craves your attention, and that craves your parenting, but you fail to give it to him for whatever reason. And one of the reasons I believe is because of his biological dad. Once again, a biological dad that was never around, that was never here, that was never active, that was never present in our lives or his life. But yet you were still jealous of him. It makes no sense. Maybe because you thought I secretively still have feelings for him, but that's ridiculous. I've been married to you for 15 years. Why would I still have feelings for somebody else if I'm married to you and I've been married to you for 15 years? And as a matter of fact, it's been now 16 years. Because we had spent our first wedding anniversary separated from each other. So it's been now 16 years that we've been married. Why would I have feelings for someone that never existed in our life? Let me just tell you one reality. He's just a sperm donor. He donated his sperm to me. He impregnated me and then he left. That's it, and that's all. There's nothing more to the story. There's nothing more to feelings or nothing. It don't exist. Yes, this person was once my boyfriend many, many years ago when I was young, when I was in high school. I started dating this person when I was in high school. And we became more intimate when I graduated from high school, and us becoming more intimate is how I ended up pregnant. He used to come to my college apartment. I'm not going to call it a dorm. It was next to the college, but it was an actual apartment. He would come to my college apartment every weekend and hang out with me and my friends. Me and my friends would throw parties every weekend, and he would always come and hang out and be a part of my world because he had nothing else better to do. Make a long story short, we consummated the relationship and I ended up pregnant. And once I ended up pregnant, he went ghost on me. I've never heard from him again. I had him come see my son a couple of times so that I gave him the opportunity to become an active dad in this child's life. But after he burnt my child, he stopped becoming active. Once he became incarcerated, I never heard from too much of him again, except the night that you and I spoke to him and you put him in check about disrespecting me. But other than that, I have not spoken to this man. I don't have no secret relationship with this man. I do not have feelings for this man. I don't love this man. He's just simply someone who donated his sperm to me. Okay, so let's get that straight. Moving on. You out here having sex with other people thinking that you're teaching me a lesson. But honey, the person who you are really teaching a lesson to is yourself. Because you're out here slanging and danging your private parts to other women or another woman. You don't know what this person have. You're probably not using condoms. And the reason why I can sit here and attest to this and say this is because my body had these weird reactions and discharges that I should not have had. And I had them once I came to Shreveport. Before Shreveport, I never had these problems. I never had these discharges. But once we showed up in Shreveport, all of a sudden my body started getting discharges. Come on now. So whoever you've been having sex with, they got something. They're not clean. So you're sticking your private parts in other people. It's disgusting. Stop it. You're not teaching me no lesson. You're teaching yourself a lesson. You're not hurting my feelings. If anything, you're pissing me off. I have now accepted the fact that you are immature in comparison to me. We are on totally different levels. We have grown apart in the last 15, 16 years. We are different people now than we was when we first met. We are different people now than we first was when we first got married. I accept all this. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to hate you. If anything, I just want to finish raising our children, get them to adulthood, and you and I both go our separate way if that's what you really want. A lot of my issue with you is trust, because every time I gave you my trust, you took that trust that I gave you. I have this thing about gray hairs and I want to pull it out. I don't like it. I'm gonna get rid of that. Anyway, every time I gave you my trust, you broke that trust. Every time I gave you love, you threw away my love in the trash can. Everything I ever tried to do to you, you took for granted and you destroyed it. And you made it something that it wasn't. You made it evil. You took something beautiful and you made it evil. You always used your mother as a tool to bully me and to get your way, which is really unfair and fucked up. Like, you never really tried to be fair to me. It was always about you and your wants and needs. It was never about me. You made everything about you. That's selfish as hell. You say you're not a narcissist. You're in denial, but you are. You are. I'm going to tell you who you are. You are a narcissist. Okay? Thirdly is, I just want to move on with my life. I don't need you to continue to string me along, to drag me along, to make this any harder than it needs to be. Just move on with your life so I can move on with mine too, you know? We don't have to hate each other. If anything, we learned something from each other. We learned something. You feel what I'm saying? These children deserve better from you and me. These children deserve us to just be cordial toward each other. And the children deserve both of their parents. We can still parent these children together without being together. We don't have to be together to parent these kids. I loved you for 16 years. And I still have some love for you. I don't hate you at all. If anything, you just piss me off. But one thing I deserve to be able to do is move on with my life, because you already made the choice when you cheated on me. You already made the choice when you had your mother put me out the house, and you already made the choice when you left me in Austin stranded. So you showed me 3 different times that you have made your choice, that you no longer want me. You no longer want to work things out with me. You no longer want me to be your woman. So give me my divorce and let me move on. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's only fair. I don't hate you. I just want to be free from all the hurt and pain and disappointment and drama and problems and stress that you put on to me. The reality is you can't make me happy because you're not happy yourself. How you going to be able to make me happy and you're not happy your own self? You can't give me something that you don't have. You don't have happiness, so you can't give it to me. I don't want to keep dragging this along. This is really stupid and childish. It's a waste of time, air, and breath and energy. Let's be decent human beings to each other so that we can provide our children better examples of how to be as adults. And I know a piece of you hurt, and I know that you really did love me, but some part of you stopped loving me a long time ago, and I don't know when that started. I don't know when it began, but a piece of you stopped loving me a long time ago. A piece of me fell apart from you a long time ago. A piece of me got frustrated and exhausted from you a long time ago. Don't know when it started, don't know when it began, but things are what they are. Now, the point I'm trying to make in sharing this with you, my audience, is that when you are in a relationship with someone, get to know the person. Don't rush into marriage. Don't rush into a relationship. Really get to know the person. Like, like dissect them and watch them and see how they are. See how they react to things. Don't be so quick to move in with anybody. And if you have children together, be cordial toward one another, be civil toward one another, because that's what your children deserve, is y'all to treat each other with decency. Your children deserve that. And if my children are watching this video, I'm sorry that your father and I are getting a divorce. I'm sorry that your father and I could not work things out. Your father and I simply just grew apart. We no longer want the same things. We don't have the same vision. We're not on the same page about nothing. So it's unhealthy for him and I to stay together. We can't even have a decent conversation without it going left. So your father and I are just not good for each other. We're toxic for each other. But we both still love you guys. That's never going to change. I'm always going to be your mother. That's never going to change. And he's going to always be your father. That's never going to change. And I also just want you guys to know that at the end of the day, life goes on. It does not stop. And I sincerely hope, and this is to my children, I sincerely hope for bigger and better days for you guys. I sincerely hope for happier days for you guys. And I want to create new memories for you guys that are happy. I'm sorry that you guys had to see your dad and I fight. I'm sorry that you had to see your dad and I putting hands on each other, tussling and fighting. I'm sorry y'all had to see that. I'm sorry that you had to hear us call each other names. I'm sorry that you had to feel this feeling of void and despair and defeat. I'm sorry y'all had to feel that. I'm sorry that y'all had to feel ripped away from what y'all thought was home. I'm sorry that y'all had to go through that. I really am. I did not marry your father to get a divorce. I did not marry your father for us to fall apart. That was never my intention. I married your father to be with him for the rest of my life. I married your father for us to provide y'all something that when y'all was to grow old, y'all could brag about or tell stories to your friends and your children. But unfortunately, it didn't turn out to be that way. We lasted 16 years. We gave it the best that we could. But it's just time for your father and I to move on. And I want you guys to forgive me for all the wrong that I've done. Forgive me for all the hurt and pain I've caused y'all. Forgive your father for all the wrong that he has done. Forgive your father for all the hurt and pain he has caused y'all. Your father and I never wanted this for y'all. It's just that him and I, we're on different paths. It's obvious. But once again, this is not hatred. If anything, it's just a confirmation video of the fact that it's just time to move on. It's the healthy thing to do. All right, well, for my audience, y'all can take what you want from this video. I hope y'all learned something. Apply it to your personal lives. Try to not make the same mistakes I made with my spouse, and try to not make the same mistakes that he made with me. Y'all can learn and grow from my situation. Y'all can learn and grow from our story. I'm gonna end the video here. Peace and blessings to you all.